Today we're making these easy, delicious 2-ingredient, no yeast fried donuts, which are just as fluffy and melt in your mouth as yeast raised donuts. These take 2 minutes to make and you won't be able to stop at just one. So this donut recipe cannot be more simple and amazing. It's very similar to my 2-ingredient pizza dough, but with different ratios because these are donuts, not pizza, and different steps, as you'll see. I'm going to combine together some self-rising flour and yogurt. Now, as always, I will leave the substitutes in the description box in case you're unable to find yogurt and self-rising flour. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Make sure to subscribe and click that notification bell. I post new videos every week. Now, as you're mixing this dough, you'll notice it's quite sticky and soft. Do not add any more flour to this. We're not going to be kneading this dough. Just make sure you've combined these 2 ingredients well until you have a nice uniform dough. Now, believe it or not, we're ready to fry. That's how simple this donut recipe is. There's no waiting, no resting. We're ready to go. You're going to transfer this dough into a piping bag fitted with a round tip, or if you don't have a piping bag, you can use a Ziploc bag or even just a spoon to dollop this mixture into the hot oil. You're going to preheat your oil. It should be around 160 to 170 degrees Celsius or 320, 330 Fahrenheit. Now, this needs to be said because I feel some people will worry. Because these donuts do not contain any yeast, they will initially drop to the bottom of the pan for a few seconds. This is completely normal. They'll float back up as soon as the baking powder starts to activate. Use a spatula to move them around so they cook evenly. If you don't have a thermometer, just make sure they're bubbling and sizzling around the edges at all times. This is crucial every time you're frying. You're going to cook these donuts until golden, and then you're going to place these onto some paper towels. Now I'm going to show you 3 different ways to serve these donuts. The dough itself doesn't contain any sugar because it doesn't need sugar. The sugar is going to come from the toppings. The first donuts we're going to make are just plain delicious sugar donuts tossed in plain sugar. These are really simple but amazing. The second donuts we're going to make are glazed donuts, my all-time favorite donuts. I've shown you how to make this glaze in the past. It's just melted butter, powdered sugar, and warm milk. Give that a good mix and toss in your donuts. Coat the donuts entirely in this amazing glaze, and you want to use a slotted spoon to shake off the excess glaze. Place these onto a rack with a plate underneath, again to allow the excess glaze to drip off. This glaze will set just like the one on Krispy Kreme donuts. The last donuts we're going to make are chocolate glazed donuts. These are really simple because instead of making another glaze entirely from scratch, we're just going to use the leftover glaze and add some cocoa powder or melted chocolate if you prefer. The amount of cocoa powder you add is entirely up to you. It just depends how chocolatey you want the donuts to be. Again, coat these entirely in the chocolate glaze and allow the excess glaze to drip off. I promise you, these will be some of the best donuts you've ever had. You won't be able to tell the difference between regular yeast raised donuts and these donuts. They're super soft and they have a beautiful bounce to them, just like yeast raised donuts do. You know, if I give you a recipe, I truly believe it's amazing and it's a must try. These were easy and absolutely delicious.